Hey guys, how to make an ACS Radical here. So let's go through a bunch of rumor mills that's been going on because apparently there is a quote unquote leak on Walmart Canada's website that might be revealing a bunch of stuff that's at E3 this year. A lot of people are just figuring this is just some shitty, fake rumor. Who knows? There's some stuff that makes sense, some stuff that doesn't. So I figured just for shits and giggles, I'd go through that list, see what's going on, see what's worth it. In all honesty, as we go through this list, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a shit about anything on this list. And I'll probably end up doing an E3 video further sometime more closer to the event. But yeah, I'll comment on my feelings with E3 this year as we talk about some of this stuff. So, right off the bat, we have Splinter Cell, and there hasn't been one since Blacklist in 2013. I'm actually surprised it's only 2013. I could have sworn that game was older. I gotta tell you, I don't think there's a need for Splinter Cell anymore. I think we've got enough games out there that provide something in that market, and I think it's just another case of Ubisoft is just trying to keep getting what they can out of the Tom Clancy name. Obviously, Recon Wildlands, or Ghost Recon Wildlands, didn't really do as well as people were hoping. Rainbow Six Siege has finally become a great game in its own. There's an expectation, I think, from people that Division 2 is going to become a thing pretty soon. If it's not announced this year at E3, it sure as shit will be next year. But I've played Splinter Cell games. They're all right. I don't feel like there's ever really been that good a game. I played Blacklist, and I enjoyed it for what it was. But I think that's another one of those games, and I'm going to make this comment over and over again, that I think that this whole deal of sequels needs to stop. Honestly, I think this is going to be my big thing when I actually do an E3 video, when I want to talk about all the things that I want to see. But most importantly, I just want to see new IP. I'm sick of everything being sequels. I think we're at that point now. I actually had a great conversation with friends when we were thinking, what would be a surprise at E3? We came up with one thing, and that was a new Chrono game. And we know that's not going to happen. We couldn't come up with anything else that would be a huge deal. A new Halo is not a huge deal. A new Gears is not a huge deal. A new Borderlands is not a huge deal. They're not big deals anymore. They're just you expect to see sequels of that stuff. You expect to see more. There's not much that can make a comeback. And I don't count remastering. Final Fantasy VII Remaster is exciting to people, but I don't care. I don't care about remasters because I've already played the game. It doesn't mean anything. So there's not really anything sequel-wise or return-wise. Let's be honest, too. I don't have any trust in Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's more of a placeholder thing. It was just to shut people up. I have no confidence in that game. If it ends up being amazing, I'll be extremely surprised. Extremely happy as well. But I don't expect anything of that game, and I really hope that people don't go in with any expectations either, because I feel like that's gonna backfire on them. But yeah, I don't know about Splinter Cell, man. It's a series that I don't think needs to be around anymore, and there's just games that do it better. Obviously, Metal Gear Solid is not going to be one of them anymore, but I don't know. I think the whole military stealth thing is kind of run its course, and we kind of need to take a step back, maybe look at something else we can do. Next up here is Just Cause 4. I've played every single game and tried to get into it. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it gets boring within 10-15 hours. The story always sucks. And sure, it's fun to just blow everything up to Kingdom Come and surf a jet and stuff like that. But I mean, you can only do these things so many times before you're okay, now I'm just screwing around. And I don't feel like paying full price for a screw around sandbox game, So honestly, I don't feel like Just Cause 4, unless they completely change the formula of what that game does, I don't see any reason why it even needs to be there. It's another one of those sequels that it's why? I don't see why it needs to be, especially one so soon. I don't really care. So we'll quickly move on. One of the others is Dragon Quest 2, and people are wondering, is that a remake of Dragon Quest 2? Because, Dragon Quest 11 is coming out. Some people thought maybe it's just a Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is confirmed to be in development. I don't care either way. Dragon Quest is just one of those games that seems to just not get along very well here in the West. I find that Dragon Quest is, I've looked at the previews for 11, and I gotta tell you, I'm an old school JRPG fan, but I think that game looks so old school that I think it might actually be just super dull. I'm looking at it being like, I don't think there's anything interesting about this. It looks so traditional standard that it's actually, it looks like they've gone so far back. It's gone back to when there was really nothing exciting about these games and it was just a grind fest. So I'm like, I'm not interested in that. Let's see here. My friggin' thing's breaking down. There we go. Borderlands 3. I'm okay with it being out because it's been a while since the last one. But I gotta tell you, Borderlands is one of those games that I like for so long and then I've never finished one. I keep liking them and I just can't finish it. The problem I've always found with Borderlands is that it goes for about 20 to 25 hours and then I start realizing, okay, what now? Because the story never really engages me. Even with 2 having Tiny Tina and some great characters, still couldn't get me so engaged that I couldn't put it down. You know, I think I found with Destiny, that Destiny had the right mixture of story and shooter, and obviously having stuff like raids. Also, Destiny's shooting is far better off because, I mean, the jumping works a lot better, the powers work a lot better. It's a lot more crisp, and I think the problem with Borderlands is it just doesn't have enough in its combat to keep me fully invested. And in order, if that's not going to be enough to keep me invested, you need something else to go. And the story's never usually good enough. I never get that desire to finish it. So I mean, a third game I have no problem with. I can understand why, because that definitely is a game that does very well, and I don't think it's run its course yet. But it's not one that, unless they really change up that formula and it's blowing people away, that I don't really have an interest in that game either. Another Assassin's Creed. I'm tired of Assassin's Creed games. I don't even care that most of my friends were like, Origins is really good. I have no instinct of playing it. Like, there's way too much on my list to go before another Assassin's Creed game when I've been completely so burnt out of that series. I don't care what they do. They could even make one in feudal Japan at this point for all I care, and I still wouldn't be that interested. I just can't. I'm so tired of Assassin's Creed right now. Lego DC Villains, whatever. That's for the kids. Cool. Have fun with that. Rage 2. This is the one that really got my attention. Not for a good reason, but because my brain was like, who the fuck asked for a Rage 2? I played the first Rage. It was a tech demo. Let's be honest. That's what it was. It was a tech demo. It was cool. It was fun for a while it lasted, but there was nothing special about it. The story was absolute fucking trash. And I played the game. I'm like, good. Okay, we don't need to see one of those again. That's why I question the validity of this thing, because I looked at a Rage 2 thinking, like, Bethesda has enough things that they could be doing that I don't see why they have to go to a Rage 2. I don't think there's a reason to. And if they are, it's like they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks now, and they're just trying to flood the market, I guess. Because, I don't know. I don't see what the big fuss would be about another Rage. And I don't see why that would even be a shock. People would just be like, oh, okay, sure. I mean, if it's good, maybe I'll take a look at it. And that's kind of the same case with me. If it's good, I'll take a look at it. But I won't be paying full price. I sure as shit won't even be looking at it if it's like $50. I'll probably be waiting for that to drop to $30. Forza Horizons 5. Typo. So that's where people are really starting to question the validity of this thing. Also, same deal. I'm tired of the same racing games every couple of years. It's boring. I'm not a car guy to go to that point where I care. So, whatever. Unless you got a Burnout game coming back, and I don't care. I don't mean a remaster. I mean a full fucking new Burnout game. I don't care. Gears of War 5. Same deal. I'm done. I've played all the way up to Judgment. I haven't played 4 because I don't own an Xbox One. I don't care. I'm done with Gears. I can't play the same thing over and over again. Yeah, I don't really know what else I could say to that. I'm just like, I'm burnt out on that series. I don't need to play it anymore. And certainly when I don't own an Xbox, another Gears game is not going to get me to go buy one. That's just as simple as it gets. So that's everything on this list. If there's more that I've missed, I haven't seen it. So, like I said, I'll say it again when we get to the E3 video, but I'm tired of sequels. I don't care anymore. There's not a lot out there that you can show me sequel-wise. That's not Kingdom Hearts 3 that I care about. Because there are enough games out there that like I'm done. Like I could think of like a handful of games. I'd be interested to see what a Final Fantasy 16 is, if Persona 6. Yeah, there's not a whole lot in terms of like shooters. I couldn't care less. Like I think I'm at a point now that I want to just see something new. I want new characters. I want new worlds. I want stuff that's going to challenge the industry again, because I think we're getting too complacent, because everything has to be a battle royale game. Everything at one point had to be a zombie shooter. I think we need to get back to creating new ideas. Nintendo is blowing people away because they're just making fun games again. Even though it's sequels and after sequels, they're at least making fun shit. All companies are doing now is just taking the same formula of stuff that's been working and just repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. It's not good anymore. And you can start to see it suffer, because obviously we're seeing Call of Duty is going down in sales, and especially now that they're not even doing a single player campaign for Black Ops 4, I expect to see that continue. I don't know, man. It's getting boring. The market is getting boring. I need something else, and I think that this needs to be the year of IPs for E3. I expect to see something new, and I don't mean indie games. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't care enough about $20 games. I want to see some AAA new IPs. We need some better shit out there, because everybody's getting complacent. We need somebody to start blowing people away. There's a reason why Monster Hunter World, which is a game that really hasn't gotten a lot of Western traction, did so well. There's a reason that Persona 5 did so well. It's because we're tired of the same fucking games from the US. We're tired of the same fucking shit. We're tired of Western stuff, because it's just copy and paste. It's copy and paste. Oh, what's that? You didn't like this game? Okay, well, we're going to release the same game. We're going to put one new mode in it. Is that good enough? No, it's fucking not. Make something different. Challenge us. Challenge yourselves. So let's get on with this shit. Get some good stuff going, because we're starting to really make this to a point that I'm buying like almost no games a year, because I'm just finding one or two games that I can handle for a while and then just coasting, because there's nothing else. Unless like a game that I've had a half interest in. Like Watch Dogs 2, I had a half interest in, but I was certainly not going to pay a lot. Then it got dropped to $15 one day on PSN, bought it, enjoyed it for what it was, and then I was done with it. But I'm certainly not going to be playing the $80 or the $75 because it's Canadian dollars, because we get fleeced like a motherfucker here. I'm not pre-ordering shit because you have nothing interesting to sell me. You're just throwing the same shit at me. So that's my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about all the games that were quote-unquote leaked. Is there anything that's really catching your eye? Because honestly, I got to tell you, none of them do anything for me. Reading that list, and I'm like, That's all I had. So I'm hoping for surprises at E3 this year, but fuck, man, like, if that leak list is any indication, this is going to be a really boring E3. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.